Okay, so I'd like to do a little short subject on Japanese telephone numbers and addresses for GeoGuessr. Looking over here, we've got a few things. Okay, first point. There's one part of Japan that, does actually have a distinctive appearance, unlike almost anywhere else, and that is that Hokkaido, the northern island, can look kind of like the United States. So what I mean, you can see here that I have this point of interest in these large fields. Like they're unusually large. You can see over here, there's even a village that's square. Um, and so in the street view, you'll actually notice that in Japan, if you see a road that looks like this, where it's straight and long, where you can, it just goes off into the distance like this. This is Hokkaido. And so then, okay, we can even take a quick look at that village. You'll notice that, even the village streets intersect at right angles here. And so when I look at it, we have that, we're solidly in Japan, right? Everything is in Japanese, but it's got too perfect of a street grid. Everything intersects at right angles. So, again, this is something in Hokkaido, and this, is something that you have in common with that you don't find this actually in some parts of the United States, but like for instance, if you have like older urban areas in the United States, often have streets that intersect at right angles like that. Okay, so a few things. So I mentioned telephone numbers, and telephone numbers in Japan. First of all, if you see a telephone number and it starts with 120 or 800, 120 and 800 are not geographical. Those are special codes in the system. Otherwise, the phone numbers increase from north to south, running from 1 to 9. And the area codes are variable in length in Japan. The longer the area code is, the smaller of a town you're in typically. Um, and larger cities typically have 2 digits, but Tokyo and Osaka have only 1 digit area codes, and they have long local phone numbers. They have 8 digits. So if you see a 3 and 8 digits, that's Tokyo, and a 6 and 8 digits, that's Osaka. And that's a very good test, particularly if you play city streaks. You are only in Tokyo or Osaka, and so then you should look for a phone number if you're in city streaks. 3 is Tokyo, 6 is Osaka. Okay, so now to get more complicated with the phone numbers, um, that I'm going to talk about also which areas in more detail. One, as I said, is in the north, and typically within the 1 digit areas, um, the largest city goes first. Now, in Hokkaido, Sapporo is the largest city, and it actually has 11. Um, which it turns out that the second digit of a Japanese area code is almost never 1. So this is the exception, that we have 11. Also, a very unusual thing about Sapporo is that if we zoom in here, we look. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Okay, if we look at these traffic lights, we can, and we try not to mess with epileptics in the audience. Um, okay, you can see here that there are numbers. Epileptic street view is a problem today. Okay, that we have here marked north 16, east 1. And that above that you can see that marked in kanji. And a recommendation that I would make for, if you play Japan a lot is that you should actually learn the kanji for northeast, south, and west in Japan. It will actually help you. So here we have north 16, east 1. Okay, so if we look at the map of Sapporo, these things are not, as you might think from any normal place in the world, these are not the street names. The streets don't have names. These are the names, actually, of the blocks. So North 16 East 1 is actually this corner of the block. And then if we look at the other one, we can see there, that's 15, right? North 15 East 1, right? And so we have this behavior then, that we have, okay, that one says North 15 East 1, that one says North 16 East 1. So, this side is 16, okay? And then this side is 15, right? Okay, now these are north and east, so, I actually just chose another point on the number grid so that I could illustrate, those were the kanji for north and east. Okay, and then these are the kanji for, boy, should I include an epileptic warning in this video? Yeah, that this is South 1, West 11. Okay. Your Fujiki Dental Clinic. There's one of those 120 numbers that I mentioned that you should not pay any attention to because those are not geographical. Okay, and then, so here, on that stoplight, you can see South 1, West 12. Okay, and this numbered system, as far as I know, is mostly found in Sapporo. I think I have seen it in other places in Hokkaido. I think there may have been some numbered streets like that in Wakanai, which, is at the northern end of Hokkaido, where the ferry runs to Korsakov, which is, near Yuzhno-Sakhalinsk on Sakhalin Island. Okay, so, now, the one area, we would like to have it, be Hokkaido, but it doesn't fit, that the natural regions of Japan are not the right size, and so some ones are in the northern mainland. Okay, and so northern mainland phones are 17, 18, and 19. I'm not sure of which ones are which. Okay, and then so 2. If you get 2, it's farther south than that. And that here I have what I call, there's kind of the northern mainland region. Now, the 2s actually extend into the Tokyo area, what is called Kanto. I think, as I remember, that there are references to it in Pokemon or things, some of the gamers here might even recognize the term Kanto. Northern Kanto phones are 27, 28, 29, and I'm pretty sure it's in that order. Okay, and in the 2 region, the largest city then is Sendai, 20, and that, as I mentioned, the second digit here is not 1. I think that only 11 is used, and that is in Sapporo. So in Sendai, phone numbers start with 22, because it's the largest city in the 2 region, and as I said, 2 is northern mainland, except that 27, 28, 29 are in the Kanto, the Tokyo area. And then, so I have 22 here, and I have some, geographical features to address. Now, I mentioned that this is not just about phone numbers, it's also about the address system. We already saw the grid in Sapporo, which is, as I said, quite anomalous. You actually can find addresses, fairly commonly, but it's, you have to know where to look. And, of course, they are often in Japanese only. Now, here on a wall you can see an address plate. Okay, so this one, it's in the city of Sendai, and often these um, will have at the top here, the city or the section of a large city is indicated. And here in the large city, you can barely see it here that the last character is, it looks like a box with an X. The box with an X is pronounced ku, and that means a section of a large city. What's a large city? A large city is a large city that's divided into ku. If it's not divided into ku, it is a smaller city. Now, um, now I have actually plotted all of these on the map here, and so I'll mention them all where you have division into ku, and then uh, that often in major metropolitan areas there will be places that are not in ku. Um, for instance, suburbs of Sapporo or on Sendai will have a different character for indicating what kind of a municipality it is in this last position. Okay, and then here, um, we have the address. Um, these last two characters are called, these are chome, which is a section, a local section, a few blocks in size. Um, and to use these also, it's useful to remember the kanji um, for numbers, that in this case, we have 5 chome. And then the 2 at the bottom, this is a subsection of 5 chome, that 5 chome 2 is a single block. And then the buildings, the addresses of the buildings on this block are 5 chome 27 or 5 chome 211 or something like that. Okay. Um, so we can also see, that it's barely visible, and you would definitely never be able to use Street View to do this, but the kanji here actually have these little ruby things next to them, which actually tell people that may not be able to read very well what the characters, how the characters are read. Um, this one, I don't know. I think it's Odawara, or something like that. I don't know the kanji very well. I'm pretty sure this last one is Hara or Wara. And then Go Chobe 5 Chobe 2. Um, and then, so if I exit the street view, um, let me see. So then we have address example 2 here, that often addresses are not found on official plates like that. That sometimes businesses will actually have signs that are like that. This one is in the same neighborhood. This is Odawara. This is 7 Chome 5. Okay, so in the view it was a few blocks over. Um, okay, and so then let's see. Is there anything? Yeah. Okay. So there's that Odawara again. Kliniku. Okay, Odawara Clinic. So that's the name of the neighborhood here. Um, and then here this was, it points over at it, and it says that is 7 Chome 5. You'll notice that this phone number on the sign does not have the area code with it, but it should be 22 because this is Sendai. Okay. You'll notice neither one of those examples was translated. Um, I have encountered address plates in other parts of Japan that actually do have romanization on them. When they do, it's down at the bottom, and often in rather fine print. So they may be difficult to read. Um, an example of an address, this example is also in Sendai. That here there's actually an address marked on an overpass. Okay, and so here that there's actually the route number sign, Route 45, and then it says here Aoba Ward Miyamachi 1 Chome. Okay, here it's understood that you're in Sendai, like this sign is being seen by someone on a road, so that's not indicated. They do indicate that this is Aoba Ward right here. Um, those are fairly easy to find on the map, because if a city is divided into, here Aoba Ku, there's the Ku character again. As I mentioned, it looks like a box with a check on it. No stroke on this side. Aoba Ward, that the cities, the large cities that are divided into ku, into wards, they are marked on the map. So here you can see Sendai, and I zoom in, and I still don't see it. Let's see. I did remember that this one was more difficult than most. Yeah, this is kind of a blooper, isn't it? Okay, there's Taihak. That's the reason why is that the wards are big. Like here you can see here there's Izumi Ward, Aoba Ward, Taihaku Ward, Wakabayashi Ward. So when we click on Aoba Ward, we can see it's a very large part of Sendai, and Sendai, has large boundaries. Extends way out into the mountains. And in fact, if I turn on satellite here, you can see that that the outer part of Aoba Ward is completely covered with mountains and trees. And then there are some inner parts of Aoba Ward. Like you can see there's the rail line right here marked. Okay, so if you were trying to use this, that addresses in Japan are often very difficult to find. I've got to say, like this is, not particularly easy. Here, you would also have the 45 as a clue, and then Miyamachi Ichome, 1 Chome. Um, so, looking at it, we have our outline of Aoba Ward here. Okay, that's 45. And you can see also this is kind of central, right? Um, and so that you would then, with our clues, you would look for Miyamachi Ichome, 1 Chome on 45. Those are marked on the map, but they're not easy to find. That I happen to have, sitting around in my bookcase, this wonderful road atlas from Japan that was published in the 1990s. Referred the brand name is Mapple, and they have very good maps of these things. And this this setup with the addresses, it is so complicated that when I went to Japan, it was before street phones existed. I mean, before smartphones existed, and that it was considered to be completely normal if you were lost and trying to find an address to ask at certain businesses and fire and police stations. Now that on our thing we have Miyamachi. And that that's okay. So here, oddly, like here, I found here. There's on the map. It says Lawson Sentai Odawara 1 Chome, and this is on the maps for convenience store chains like this. Particularly Lawson and 7-Eleven. They will actually give the location of which location it is like this. This is Sendai Odawara Ichome, Lawson. You'll also notice, coincidentally, I happened to zoom in on a neighborhood that is also called Odawara. Wait, because this is Sendai, so it's the same Odawara, right? We were in 4 and 7, up here. You can see there on the map also 7-Eleven, Sendai, Odawara, 8 Chome. There's 8 Chome. So I'm looking for 45, was Miyamachi, right? Okay, so yeah, you can see how hard this is. I don't know how useful this is at all, but now you have some idea how addresses work. Um, let's see, that's Odawara 5 Chome. Uh, let's see, it was Miyamachi. Also, it can be useful if you know anything about kanji to look at the kanji for these things. You know, they will often have the thing in them, even if there's no translation. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I could even find Miyamachi on here. Yeah, this is Honcho. Um, this is downtown Sendai, so this is literally the head Honcho neighborhood. Um, that is actually what Honcho means, is the main uh neighborhood. Um, okay, yeah. See, it looks like 45 actually ends here. Um, yeah, this is tough. There's Teppomachi. The Teppomachi has different divisions. There's Teppomachi Naka with Naka Central, and Teppomachi Higashi, which has East in it. Another reason why you should remember these things. There's Teppomachi. So here there's, yeah, this is up here, this is Odawara, there's Odawara 1 Chome, 3 Chome, um, Haranomachi, 3 Chome, 5 Chome, um, wait, Miyagi no 2 Chome, yeah, this was Miyamachi. Okay, so Miyagi no Hara, okay. Yeah, so it's somewhere around here probably. Um, let's see, 2 Chome, 1 Chome. Yeah. Okay, let's look at since I was looking at the street view, remember, this is not being done as a game of GeoGuessr. Uh, I could, of course, just look at the address on the overpass, and let's see. So it looks like it's on the main rail line north of the central train station. Um, that I wasn't looking in the right place, that actually it's over here. So you can see that, oh, and uh, you will notice that the traffic light here has a label on it. That's Miyamachi Wanchome. Okay. Uh, then you can see here Zaka Nepali shop, fruit and vegetable store, Chinese food, the faux Vietnam. Okay, so there's the businesses that should be around this point in the overpass. Okay, so I think that's all I need to say about addresses, and so they're cumbersome, but now you know. Um, of course, like that our best thing for navigation in Japan is big blue signs, which if you have much experience with the game at all, you've seen all of those, right? And that here also we're in Sendai, and we can see that we have prefectural office, city hall, and that here again there's that Machi character again. The Machi character is the same one as the Cho and Chome. Oh, wait, is it? No, because the Cho and Chome is just the T shape here, right? Machi has the field here, right? It's a compound of, this field is this square divided into smaller squares, and then this T shape. Okay, so Chome is just the T shape here, with another character next to it. That looks sort of like this, except this has a dot on top. This is not the actual character that is in Chome. Um, okay. Just thought about something. There's not a phone number on there, is there? Um, yeah, I was, if it was, I was going to point out that it is in fact 22. Okay. Um, there's Chome there also on the bus stop. Um, that's, what is that? Something no, one Chome. Let's see, is it, I want to say Hibino or something like that. The kanji means deer, Deer Valley. Um, okay. Um, so, I guess that's all that needs to be said about big blue signs. Um, as I said, that I would mention all of the cities that are divided into ku. In the two areas, Sendai is divided into ku. It has 22 as the area code. 25 for Niigata. Niigata is divided into ku. Okay, so all of the cities that have these things. Okay, so I mentioned that we have 1 and 2 now. Tokyo is 3. Okay, and that the Tokyo area is so big that it takes up parts of 2, 3, and 4. And as I said, 2 goes with the northern mainland. We have northern Kanto is 27, 28, 29. Um, this is not all 2-digit area codes. That the area codes are often 3 digits in the outlying parts of major metropolitan areas because uh, I guess the individual cities are not that big, and often a 3-digit area code goes with a 6-digit local number. So as I said, that the length of the local number depends on the size of the city, but 6-digit dialing is actually common in major metropolitan areas. Um, and that I have seen local phone numbers that are actually as short as 4 digits in Japan with, rather long area codes. So there are a lot of cities in the Tokyo area that are divided into ku, and that in order, Sagamihara is 427 over here. Chiba is 43. Kawasaki is 44. Yokohama is 45. And Saitama is 486, 487, and 488. And that here there was not, there's not, I guess, a good uh, uh, correspondence between the phone numbers and city boundaries. And also, Saitama is actually a merger, and that people commonly refer to the parts of Saitama instead of referring to the city itself. Um, like there's Omiya and Urawa, I think, are sections of Saitama, and that I know one of those is the first Shinkansen station where the high-speed rail line goes northward out of central Tokyo. And then, as I remember, there's Saitama is where there's the fork between the line going to Sendai and the lines going toward Niigata and Nagano up this way. Okay, so uh, I mentioned, that Tokyo is 3 and 4. Okay, so next area is 5. The largest city in 5 is Nagoya, and 5 is the area between Tokyo and Osaka. Osaka is 6, but it's only on the south side of the island. Um, so this area is referred to as Hokkaido, and particularly the rail line that runs through that is the Hokkaido Shinkansen. Um, and so in the 5 area, Nagoya is 52, and is divided into ku, as I mentioned. So that's my definition of a large city here. Hamamatsu is 53. Shizuoka is 54. Okay. The Osaka area is too big to fit into a single code, and so 6 is central. I think a 6 phone number does not actually have to be in the actual city of Osaka, but covers a lot of the local area. And then the other cities that are defined as large here, Sakai is 722, Kyoto is 75, and Kobe is 78. Okay, and here I should mention that it is possible for a 7 number to be quite far from Osaka, and that in particular 76 and 77 are on the other side of the island. Here, they're, that the region is referred to as Hokuriku. These three prefectures here are 76 and 77. Sometimes Niigata is considered to be part of Hokuriku, but Niigata has a 25 as the area code. And also, I should mention that 79 numbers in the Osaka area can be up here on the other coast. So they look like areas, phone numbers that are in the Osaka region, which is also referred to as Kansai. Sai there is west, and then the opposite of Sai, east, is To. So Kansai is Osaka, Kanto is Tokyo. And also, there was an oddity that I forgot to mention about the Tokyo area. You can see here that it takes up the 3s and 4s. There are islands to the south here. Those are included, and those go down a really long way. And so there are codes that look like they're Tokyo phone numbers that are very far away. That here we have the island of Ioto, formerly known as Iwo Jima, and usually the World War II battle is referred to by that name. These are at the very end, so, that in the unlikely event that it puts you on one of these, and I know that there is Street View at least on Ogasawara, one of these other islands. They'll look like this, like 4998. Very unlikely, but, I thought you should know that, as part of the area code system. So we're left with 8 and 9. 8 is the western mainland and Shikoku, this area. Shikoku is 87, 88, and 89. So, in particular, that in the second digits that are important for deciding which region you're in, 7, 8, and 9 are usually ones that are important to remember. That 17, 18, 19 is on the northern mainland, not on Hokkaido. 27, 28, and 29 are northern Kanto, not the northern part of the mainland, that they're closer to Tokyo. And 87, 88, 89 are in Shikoku and not in the western mainland. And, of course, there was also this thing that Kansai, doesn't take up all of 6 and 7, that part of 7 is up here. Okay. So then that leaves 9. 9 then has to be in Kyushu and the Ryukyu Islands, which extend all the way down to Taiwan. So in that area, the largest city is Fukuoka, 92, and 93, Kitakyushu is next to it. Kitakyushu is one of those city names that is kind of a modernist thing that, it was several cities were merged together. The downtown part of Kitakyushu is called Kokura, and that is the name used, for instance, for the train station. Shimonoseki is, not part of Kitakyushu because it is on the main island, and Kyushu, that the name means North Kyushu, and, Kyushu is this island. Okay, so Kyushu is this island, and then there is one remaining, so I didn't mention the large cities again, that in the western mainland, the city is divided into ku are Okayama here, 862 and 869 are the phone numbers, and Hiroshima 82. And Hiroshima, again, is at the beginning of the 8 region because it's the largest. Okay. And so the remaining thing is right at the end. I mentioned the Ryukyu Islands. At the time that Japan designed its area code system, Okinawa was actually still under U.S. military occupation. The full Japanese sovereignty over it was not restored until, I think, 1969. And so, that it's out of order. Okinawa prefecture phones, which are these islands near Okinawa, and also the farthest south islands here, Ishigaki, Iriomote, and such. Those are 988 and 989. So if you find something that's way at the end of the sequence, and I actually have gotten this in a round before, that means that it's the part of the Ryukyu Islands that are in Kagoshima Prefecture, meaning these. And the place where I actually got around on Tanegashima, which is where there's there's a thing called the Tanegashima Space Center there, where Japan has its only satellite launch location. Okay. Um, so I think that covers it, and so what I would say for remembering phone numbers in the very shortest thing is that they go from 1 at the north end to 9 at the south end. Tokyo is 3, and Osaka is 6. And that last part again, Tokyo is 3, Osaka is 6. Those are the only cities that I've seen in rounds of city streaks. And so if you play city streaks a lot, that's the most important thing to remember about area codes. And there are other pairs, in other countries that come to mind where you could use area codes in city streaks. For instance, in Brazil, Sao Paulo is 11 and Rio de Janeiro is 21 in the area code system. Okay, so I think we're done here then. And so you can use this then to play GeoGuessr. See you later.